Hey, thanks for tuning in to The Front today. My name is Mike Phillips, and I will be your host. As always, you can check out the website at leadtheteam.net for free sales training, for motivational content, and for leadership tips. And if you would, cruise on over to leadtheteam.tv, subscribe to the YouTube channel there. I would sure appreciate that. I do new episodes of The Front every Wednesday and Sunday, and I would really enjoy if you would take the time to tune in. Also, I'm available on just about every podcast platform out there. Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, you name it. Just type in The Front and Mike Phillips and it should come right up. Now, whether you are watching this episode live, if you're watching it later, or if you're tuning into the podcast, please make sure and participate in the comments down below, or in this case, maybe in the sidebar, because often that leads to a really excellent future show. So today I'm talking about prospecting for gold. We're going to be talking about prospecting in sales right now on The Front.
Thanks for tuning in to Lead the Teams, The Front.
Yes, that's right. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me today. If you are joining me live, I really appreciate it. If you're joining me after the fact, I certainly appreciate that as well. So again, my name is Mike Phillips and I will be your host. This is The Front, and today I'm talking about prospecting for gold, because I think that prospecting in some areas is becoming a lost art in sales. Prospecting is actually going out and looking for and trying to find something or someone in this case. If you're in sales, if you're in business, part of your job as a professional sales consultant, part of your job as a professional salesperson is to go out and find business. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. And this will be a 5 or 10 minute clip. And certainly if we have some participation in the sidebar, I'll read those at the end of the show. So when I'm talking about prospecting for gold, it's going out to find business. I'm going to talk about 3 things that will allow you to stay consistent in finding business. And within those 3 things, maybe have a little bit of discussion. So number 1, first and foremost, when it comes to prospecting, you've got to stay consistent. See, it's just like working out and going to the gym. You don't go one time and then say that's it. Right? It's just like grooming a relationship. You don't just meet somebody one time and then that's the end of it. If you're prospecting and you're trying to build your business, it is something you've got to do a little bit every single day. You have to invest time in it. So it's something that if you start it, you've got to be able to go through it 10, 15, 20, 30 times. I think the rule is 26 spaced repetitions is what it takes to form a habit. So go through and try and form that habit of prospecting and trying to drum up that business before you throw in the towel and decide it doesn't work. The second thing on my list is make sure to use every method that's available to you. See, we're spoiled right now. If you are living at this time, which if you're watching this, you're living at this time. If you're living at this time, we are so digitally connected. Social media and all of these different platforms to be able to intertwine. You can connect with the guy or gal down the street, or you can connect with somebody 5,000 miles away. So it's one of those things that you have to use all of the methods, use all of your resources, which means using more than just social media or using more than just digital content to reach out to your customers. So it is your job. If you're a professional salesperson, it's your job to drum up 50% of your business. So what are you going to do? You know, there's traditional ways that will still work to drum up business. Let's talk about, I just mentioned, number 1, certainly social media. More so than just social media, find a platform that you can connect with, that you feel comfortable with. There are 50 some odd, there's probably more than that, social platforms out there. At one point, I think I had membership on like 50 different social platforms, and it becomes overwhelming. Find 2 or 3 that you can connect with and that you're really good at and that you can exploit it. And when I say exploit it, it's because it's one of those methods that you are able to connect with and do. So if you're really good at video and you're comfortable talking to a camera instead of a person, then exploit YouTube. Use Snapchat, Instagram stories. Now they've got Facebook stories and so forth. If you're really good at the written word, then write a blog. Start writing things that can benefit your customers and come up with different ways for them to connect with you on that level. If you're really good at texting, there's a lot of people, texting is that preferred method of communication right now. Get involved in Twitter. There are so many different social platforms, but the thing you need to understand is you don't need to be a part of all of them. You need to be really good at a few. I watch going through many different social channels, and people will say, well, how's anybody leveraging LinkedIn? And for me, LinkedIn is a good professional platform to connect with other people on, certainly. But if you're looking to leverage it for sales, that's going to be a different method to do that than what you would do on Facebook. Facebook is a much more socially kind of family interactive, connected environment, where LinkedIn is more that professional sort of network. Again, if I'm talking to you, you probably already know that. The second thing when I'm talking about, leveraging all these different methods, traditional phone calls still work. Send somebody a thank you card. Send them a birthday card. Put your business cards inside that. Believe it or not, that stuff still works because it creates real human connection. Pick up the phone and contact people and just say, hey, look, if you're in sales, we kind of will scoff or laugh. I've been in automotive sales management for some time now, and people will often scoff or laugh when we get a new salesperson on board, and I say, hey, listen, what you need to do, first things first, pick up the phone and call all your friends, family, relatives, neighbors, and let them know where you work. Because there's nothing worse than getting into a new sales environment and coming home and seeing that your neighbor 2 houses down just bought the product that you sell from somebody else. So yeah, you still need to reach out in that traditional forum and let people know, whether it's, mail or telephone. Join networking groups. Join civic groups around town, the Rotary Club, and get involved with meetup.com. If you guys haven't heard of meetup.com, download the app. It is a way for people to actually connect with real life human beings in your area. It starts out kind of as a social network, but then people will connect with one another based on what their likes are and based on what their hobbies are, and they'll get together and connect live with other people. That is still such a powerful method because and does it take people out of their comfort zone? Sure, sometimes, absolutely, because you have to go meet somebody face to face instead of behind the screen. Here's one. Especially if you're in automotive sales. This is one, and part of the inspiration for this episode, I had someone reach out to me and they were just they said, what's a refresher? How are you reaching out and connecting with people? And I was walking through these ideas that we sometimes get numb to and we think they're trivial, but this stuff still works, right? So, contact other businesses and schools and churches. If you're involved in a church, now, If you're an automotive salesperson and you say, hey, I'm going to pay a referral fee or a bird dog fee of $100 to an individual, that may not speak volumes to a school or a church. But if you're contacting your local PTA or PTO group, the parents and teachers group, and saying, hey, listen, if you can put me in the school newsletter for every vehicle that we sell, and somebody tells me that they're with your school or they're with your church group, we'll donate that $100 to the playground fund or to the men's breakfast this next month or to the women's group that meets on Wednesday nights, right? You have to meet people where they're at. It's not just, well, hey, I want to, donate this $100. That $100 or whatever your bird dog fee is, that may not speak to the group. It may speak to individuals, but it may not speak to the group on their level. So come up with the idea and the thought and the things that are going to connect with those groups. That not only that, you can make a community impact. That makes a difference. As a business person, as a salesperson, you can make a difference for somebody. The fifth one that I'm going to share with you today, This may seem silly. It's not silly, okay? The fifth one that I'm telling you, and you can come up with more. You need to sit down and come up with 10 or 20 different ways that you can connect with people. But the fifth one I'm going to share with you is get up and take the customers that are already walking through your door. Holy cow, novel idea, right? Get up and talk to the people that are already walking in. If you're in automotive sales, here's the irony in this, because I have a lot of automotive salespeople that are going to tune in and watch this. Here's the craziness. We're sitting there and in management, we're saying, hey, listen, salesperson, you got to pick up the phone and dial and follow up and get people here. And meanwhile, customer walks in the front door. And we go over and we say, hey, Mike, listen, we got a customer on the showroom floor. We want you to go help him. And I say, I can't do that right now. I'm following somebody up. You're spending time to try and get somebody in here. They're standing there waiting for your assistance. So go help the people that are already here. Right? It may seem simple, but again, we sometimes it becomes an oversight because we're working in the business so much and we're spending so much time to grow ourselves and to try and figure out where can I drum up new business that we might miss what is already there. So I would encourage you, running back through those methods that are available to you, the things I'm talking about right now, social media, traditional phone calls or traditional mail, joining local networking groups, contacting other businesses, church groups, and affiliates. And then just get up and pay attention to the traffic that's already walking through your door. When I'm talking about prospecting for gold, here's the third key for tonight. Nurture and build relationships. That's what it's about. In any sales organization, if you're in business, business is sales. And so if you are selling, you have to nurture and build relationships. That goes back to step one, being consistent. You don't reach out to somebody and contact them one time and think, well, that's it. Hey, we have a really good relationship. Cool. I'll talk to you 5 years from now. That's not how relationships work. You have to take a genuine interest in somebody. You have to take a genuine interest in their life. When you take a genuine interest in somebody else, they will take a genuine interest in you and your business. So you have to nurture and build that relationship. So when we're talking about prospecting, running back through it, first and foremost, consistency matters. Second, use every method that is available to you, everything that you can come up with. Spend the time to sit down and write down 10 or 20 or more things that you can come up with to reach out and just make a connection. And third, you got to nurture and build the relationship. So I'm just reading my notes here for a second. That's it. In sales, it's not always about business coming to you. It is part of you have to go to the business. You've got a prospect. You have to build your business. There is nobody that's going to be more passionate about your business than you. So get out there and drum up that business and talk about it. Be excited about it. So that's my whole message for today on the front. I'm going to read some of the sidebar comments. Again, thank you so much for the people that are taking the time to tune in and join me this evening. I really, really appreciate it. We've had a whole bunch of people come in and out and make a few comments. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Remember, you can tune into new episodes of The Front every Wednesday and Sunday. I do this as a video episode. I'm starting to do more of them as live so I can get some of that real interaction and engagement with people. And then I do put it on my podcast as well. So I would sure appreciate if you would subscribe to those. Now, if you've gotten something out of this episode, before I go to the sidebar comments, please do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, share it on your social media. Tune in at leadtheteam.tv. You can see I've got a couple hundred episodes and video blurbs there. I would sure appreciate it. And I'm going to close it out this way. Until we speak next, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.